Let me make sure I get the mic together. Hey, my truth seekers, how are you guys doing? Welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D. Guys, how do you like my background? Let me know how you like my background. Like they say, pictures show, it tells 1,000 words, okay? Pictures alone. And sometimes, it's going to take imagery to sit there and wake us up because some of us are still brainwashed. So I hope you guys can hear me real good. Hope y'all can hear me real good, guys. Make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content. Let me see if I can get everything together. Making sure, hold on one second, just setting everything up, guys. Hey, Alicia, how are you doing? Alicia says, good afternoon, Lady D. Give me a thumbs up, guys, if you can hear me real good. Make sure you give me a thumbs up because this right here, guys, this is a much needed conversation. And this is what we need. We need this right here, guys. We need to start researching. And I got my magnifying glass right here because, like I said, the word is not hidden. It's only hidden to those that are lost. So we need our magnifying glass. Okay. We need to start doing our own research instead of letting these people sit there and tell us what we need or what we could, should do. Okay. So thank you, Alicia. Thank you for giving me a thumbs up. Okay. And when it comes to this type of content, guys, trust me, I'm already, aware, that, this stuff like this is not going to get too many clicks, no views, but that's okay because the Most High God said, tell it to him anyhow, because we are some stiff necked people. And I truly believe, this right here, this is it. I was seeing something on CNN that really had gotten me. Where CNN had said in the final hour, and right there, I'm so into my spirituality, but it says right here in the final hour, Vice President Kamala Harris is looking for a running mate. And right there, my spiritual radar just went up in the final hours. Come on, guys, he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. And most likely he's going to be a J. You know exactly what I'm talking about when I said J, people that we cannot even speak on. Okay. And like I said there and say, this is not to beat up on anyone, but it's to sit there and tell the truth, stand on the truth. Like I say, this is a whole new generation that is rising up. And I truly believe that this generation, they're not going to take any and everything. They're going to question everything. I truly believe, which, I don't blame them, because, we've been talking about the same stuff over and over and over for years and years, and this generation right here, you either going to put up or you're going to show up, shut up, because we already know when it comes to the tongue, cheek and tongue will say anything, the mouth will say anything. But this generation sat there and say, put your money where your mouth is. And I don't blame them. And one thing about, no one loves the truth. And they're not going to jump on no bandwagon. Like I said, this generation, they're not going to jump on the bandwagon. They're not going to go where the 99. If they see the 99, they're not going to run to the 99. They're going to run after that one. Okay. And I truly believe that when it comes to all this right here, this is what I call Bible prophecies. Okay, Bible prophecies. So again, guys, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and non-biased. In here is grown folks. We don't have time to sit there and pacify anyone. If you feel like you need to be pacified, then you go somewhere else, somewhere that's going to tickle your ears. In here is Real Talk. Okay, unapologetic and non-biased. And this generation right here, it is sick and tired of being sick and tired. So when someone going to say enough is enough? I see my girl is in the house. Hey, Bertha. Bertha says, hello, Lady D and everyone. Yes, indeed, guys. So let me go ahead and read the disclaimer. I'm going to try to see if I can go ahead and stay on an hour, but I'm pretty sure this is exactly where I'm going to be going. I'm not into politicians, because I truly believe that the church should separate from the government. But it looked like when it comes to the church is all in it, dipping and dabbing in the things in the world. So, like I said, we know the final hour. We know all this stuff was going to happen. Okay. So before I continue, guys, let me go ahead and read my disclaimer. And let me see if I can see it. The copyright disclaimer is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. So, guys, don't get mad with the messenger, because I saw where I guess they tried to set that last video when I talked about this right here. They tried to go ahead and strike it, but you cannot strike it because, like I said there and said, I am in my guidelines. Okay, so like I said, no one is mad but the messenger. But as you can see right here by the title, I see if I can write a little notes. But when it comes to me writing notes, I just don't follow the notes. I just let the spirit of God lead me, the Most High God. And I truly believe, I don't care how man want to say the final hour, but this right here is what I call the final hour. And as you can see right here, we're going to talk about some of what I think I went ahead and I did some research of when it comes to Kamala Harris potential policies. We're going to talk about that as well. And we're also going to talk about past reparation, how everyone, they handed out reparation, but they excluded African Americans. Yes, everyone, and I'm not being racist. Like I say, I'm talking to my people. Okay, he that have an ear, let him hear. But everybody, they get the piece of the pie. We are the ones that sat there. We do exactly what they ask us to do. And we're not asking for favors. We're not asking for favors at all. And we're going to talk about that because I truly believe that we are the head. We are not the tail. Everyone need us. Without us, nothing will survive. And some of this right here might go over your head, and they know and that their time is almost up. That's why they causing so much havoc. But the thing about it is that we don't know. We don't know because we are so blinded by the things of the world. Like I said, the reason why they make all this stuff, and got us entertaining and jerking and turking and buck dancing and buffoonery and cooning. They got us doing all that because it's a distraction, because we are very emotional. We some very emotional people. So like I said, when they know us better than we know ourselves, then we're going to sit there and think that we are the tail. We are supposed to be at the feet. We are the ones that's supposed to sit there and let them throw us a few crumbs here and there. But like I said, we don't even have to sit at the table. Why would you even want to sit at the table when we could own the entire house? I mean, some of that right there has went clean over your head. Okay, I see Associate Minister Terry Jones is in the house. He says, hello, Real Talk with Lady D. Good afternoon. Hey, Terry. Also, he says, remind the viewers and subscribers, YouTube channel, please set alarm on your cell phone for each of this wonderful information and entertaining YouTube live stream broadcast. Thank you very much. And also, guys, Wednesday, Eagle Soaring High on his new channel, Purple Royal. Make sure you see if you can put the link down for Eagle Soaring High, his new channel, Purple Royalty Community, guys. We supposed to start back with our Bible studies. So it's going to be Wednesday at 6 o'clock Central. So make sure you go ahead and check it out. Okay. So again, guys, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and non-biased. And like I said, in here is grown folks. We don't have time to tickle nobody ears, and one thing about us, when you come in here, we don't follow the crowd. We are critical thinkers. We don't need someone to tell us what we need to do. Okay. Especially when we are not in here talking to children. We are talking to grown folks. And I know you guys see this picture, and this picture is very effective, very, very effective, because the reason why, I went ahead and I put it up is because, everybody, they benefit except us. And the thing about it is that we don't question things like that. We are so stuck when it comes to imagery. And that's why they had us bowing down to this false god, this white supremacist for over 400 years, because we are a person. We go by our emotions and we go by of what we see. Okay, we don't question anything. And just because it looked like a lamb, we're going to go ahead and we're going to run because we some silly sheep, some blinded silly sheep. But there are wolves in sheep clothing. So we need to stop it because these people are laughing at us. Do you hear me? These people are laughing at us because we sitting here, we fighting over what color, what this, what that. You see what I'm saying? And they say, we could continue writing all different type of policies because they're not worried about the policies. All they looking for is someone that looks like them. Because our people, like I said, it's time for our people to shake off these grave clothes and come out of her. Okay, come out of her, because the world sitting there saying right now that this is the final hour. Let me go ahead and post it again where I saw on CNN today where it says the final hour. And he that are very spiritual, they know exactly what I am talking about when it says that in the final hour, Vice President Kamala Harris is looking for a running mate, but the world is looking for a running mate, thinking that this is the final hour. But he that have an ear, let him hear, because we don't look at man, because cheek and tongue will say anything. We looking at the Most High God. That's exactly why he said. That's exactly why the Most High God said, "Choose this day who you going to serve." Today, I'm asking you to choose this day who you going to serve. Either you going to serve the things of this world, which is Baal, or you going to serve the Most High God. The choice is yours. And one thing about the Most High God, he does not force himself upon anyone, because why? He is a gentle God. He's a gentle God. Okay. So let me go ahead and play this right here, because we're going to talk about Kamala Harrison potential policies and who had received in the past reparation, and why African Americans always be excluded. Why African Americans always be excluded? Do they know something that we don't know? Do they know that we was already here? Do they know that we were on the four corners of this world? We was already here. But why African American slave descendants, why we always is excluded out of everything, but we always have their backs. Okay, so let's go ahead and play this right quick, and then we're gonna go into my commentary, because we're gonna talk about all this. I got a lot of little bullet points I said there, and I went and put in place, because enough is enough. I don't know about you guys, but enough is enough. And I used to sit there, I used to come on and I say, well, I don't think that, I should say this, I should say that. But if the Most High God say it, tell it to them anyhow, because there's some stiff-necked people. And I know it's confirmation, because when I talked or I, watch other people that, call themselves woke, I say, God, I didn't even have to look for this. You already told me that. But I said, God said you sat on it. They running with it, but you sat on it. So from now on, when the Most High God gives me a word, I'm not going to sit on it. I'm going to say what thus says the Lord, because this right here is the final hour. And the thing about it is that they know it, but we don't know it. They know that their time is almost up, but we don't know it. So let's go ahead and play this, and then we're going to go ahead and get into all this right here, because like I said, the rabbit hole goes very, very deep. So make sure you go ahead and get you a magnifying glass and start researching. Like I said, Google has a very huge search engine. And now, not just Google, we are in what I call the age of information. We are in the age of information. Nothing is hidden. The rabbit hole goes very, very deep, but it's how far that you willing to go deep for it. So let me go ahead, because like I said, I done went into 18 minutes. Let me go ahead and play this right here, okay? And like I said, this channel is not for everybody. Yes, I want clicks. Yes, I want likes. Yes, I want to subscribe, but I'm not going to sell my soul, not for a bowl of beans, okay? We already in a soul out soul for a bowl of beans, but this time, honey, we are well awoke.
Black people? No, because whatever benefits that black family will benefit.
Let me go ahead and
you support reparations for black people.
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No, because whatever benefits that black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. We must stand with Israel. As Hamas maintains its control of Gaza and fires rockets across Israel's southern border, we must stand with Israel. I support the United States' commitment to provide Israel with $38 billion in military assistance. Stand with Israel. I support the United States' commitment to provide Israel with $38 billion in military assistance over the next decade. It is why I support full funding for Israel. So let me be clear about what I believe. I stand with Israel because of our shared values, which are so fundamental to the founding of both our nations. I believe the bonds between the United States and Israel are unbreakable, and we can never let anyone drive a wedge between us. I will do everything in my power to ensure broad and bipartisan support for Israel's security and right to self-defense. We must stand up and speak out for Israel to be treated equally.
So let's go ahead and let's break that down. Like I said, it's already out there. It's not nothing that I made up. Hold on one second, guys. Oh, I don't know why I always do that and always have the batteries never have it charged up, okay? But let's go ahead and talk about this. Now, the question was asked, and I know you guys done heard it over 101 times, but the question was asked, what about African Americans? Will they receive reparation? And what did Kamala Harrison said? What did Kamala Harrison said? No. And it's not a word verbatim, but no. When it's time for us to ask for anything, and I'm talking about my people, I'm talking about my people. When it's time for us to ask for anything, it
You
always
support reparations.
it always have to include everybody else. Always have to include everybody else. Now the question was asked, do you support reparation? And they didn't hesitate. They didn't stutter. They said exactly what they meant. But if you saying that you're not going to do something specific for us, and we're not asking for you to do anything specific for us, but everybody else, they can sit there and they can get reparation. They can get bills set in place for them. But when it's time for what we've been through, we can't get nothing. And the sad thing about it is most of the people that they are giving reparation to never even set foot on American soil. Never set foot on American soil. But yet, we are the ones, when it's time for them to shift shape. Some of you guys might catch this by tomorrow because I learned this about 2 years ago when it shift shape. But I knew, at the time, it was going to make it plain. It was going to come clear when it comes to shift shape. They know how to shift shape to what they want. If they want something, they know exactly where to go and get it. So we sitting here, we arguing, oh, this person, oh, she's black, she's this, she's that, or he's this, he's that. People can shift shape of whatever they want when they need it. Oh, come on. Some of you guys might catch this by tomorrow. But if you saying that you're not going to cut any reparation for us, and some people I was hearing would say, well, we don't need them to give us. No, you're right. We don't need them to give us anything because, first of all, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. It belongs to us. Like I said, when it comes to our people, we are God and goddesses. We've been here over billions of years from the beginning, Alpha and Omega. The black man is God. The black woman is the mother of the earth. That's why when they need something, they got to go to daddy and they got to go to mama. Don't let these people fool you thinking that we are a small number. Remember, we don't die. We multiply. We ain't going nowhere. We not going nowhere, but go and Google them, 2045. Our own president of the United States already came out and told you guys who was going to be the minority, which we been was the majority. We been was the majority. We've been here over billions of years, but see, we would never know that. And the reason why we would never know that, because we don't take the time to do our proper research. We take these people words at their value. And this is not being racist. So don't try to come and attack the messenger. All this stuff right here, go and research. They even tried to find the oldest bones. It's always leading right back to Africa. Right back to Africa. The oldest bone always lead back to Africa. We talking about these so-called uh people, native, whatever we want to call them. Ask all these people to do a DNA, the Jays, do a DNA, and I promise you, you're going to find African blood in you. Because we was not the ones that was going around naming and claiming and drawing maps and lines when the whole planet belongs to us. The Most High God said, I have given you dominion, not over a certain part of the country, but I have given you dominion over the entire planet. That means that it all belongs to you. We are on the four corners of this world. We everywhere. We everywhere, but how we allow just a little small group of people to put us to sleep. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. Let's listen to it one more time, okay?
For Black people.
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people.
And the thing about it, like I said, she came out and she told you that she's not going to do things just for Black people. No. But look how the story turns.
No, because whatever benefits that Black family will benefit that community and society as a whole in the country. We must stand with Israel. As Hamas.
So, okay, you can't do nothing for us, but you're going to stand for people that never even set on American soil. Things that happened to them did not happen on American soil, but we spend trillions of dollars pouring into places, policing everybody. And that's just half of it. That's just half of it. But yet, we cannot even get just a morsel of something back. But, apology. We don't want to hear it. Oh, apology. Oh, I apologize. Like I said there and say, especially when their children's children is still reaping the harvest. You sitting there saying, well, how did it affect us? It's affect us. It's still affecting us today. How could you ask a question like that when your children are reaping the harvest still to this day, and our children got crazy public schools, sending them from schools to the prison lines? The communities is just messed up. And the minute when it's look like we get 1 foot ahead, then they getting people to come in from other countries and pouring them into these low impoverished communities. We can't catch a break. We cannot catch a break. And I know you guys don't want to hear it. Sometimes I feel like I say, God, what's the purpose of me coming on? He said, they say, tell it to them anyhow. They listening. Trust me, they listening, especially when they like to go after your channel and stuff. They listening. He said, tell it to them anyhow. Because this is what I call the final hour. This right here is what I call the final hour. Okay, so let's go ahead and listen to some more. And I know some of you guys, your ears are bleeding. Oh, I can't believe she's saying this. I can't believe she's saying this. Well, I'm saying it because you guys are saying, I'd rather pick from the lesser of the evil. Evil is evil. Evil is evil. It's no in between. I'd rather know you a snake, because if you know that's a snake, you're not going to go and touch a snake. But what about these wolves in sheep clothing? They are more dangerous than a raven wolf. Come on, guys, watch my shorts. Watch my shorts. I be putting shorts with messages. Don't let it just go over your head. Don't let it just go over your head. I'd rather know that you're a raven wolf than you sitting there, you smiling in my face. You buck dancing and coonering in my face, but behind my back, you are stabbing me in my back. You are just like Malcolm X said when he was talking about the sly foxes. The lambs always said there be on the plate. I mean, they have gotten so fat, fat. Because we constantly feeding them. We constantly just laying down. Now they don't even have to do much. All we do is sit down and just let them just eat generations after generations after generations. And you keep saying, oh, this is the time. This is going to be it. I promise you, D, this is going to be it. But soon in a minute, you get these jokers in the seat. They still sitting there chewing you up and spitting you out, waiting for the next generation. And we're going to talk about that as well. We're going to talk about that as well because we sitting there saying we should organize. We should unify. We could have we should have do everything, but we could unify, we could organize. But it always a in the camp, always a in the camp. Always a Uncle Tom, always somebody in the camp. So what do? There's a solution. Because I don't think this generation right here is ready. And we asking, what is a solution? We got to sit there and we got to train them up while they're young because this generation they not going to do it. They're not going to do it because they still brainwashed. They still have that European mindset. They don't know how to shake off of these grave clothes. And in order for us to come out of what I call a sunken place, then we're going to have to raise them up from the ground. He that have an ear, let him hear. But I'm going to stick a pin in that right now. Let's listen to some more.
Maintains its control of Gaza and fires rockets across Israel's southern border. We must stand with Israel.
Now we worrying about what's going on in somebody else's country. How they sitting there doing things over the border, firing over the border. What about these ones that we got climbing over our border? And once they climb over our border, comes onto American soil, we open up the red carpet. We open up the Red Sea. We sitting there giving these people vouchers, 5,000 and 9,000 vouchers to get housing. These people getting driver's license. These people are staying at a 5-star hotel. These people are being poured into your community while you got your own people, your own citizens of the United States robbing Peter to pay Paul, wondering where their next meal, homeless. But yet we got people coming in here by the droves and eating the children's bread. Why nobody tackle those type of issues? Why no one demand for policies to be set in place when it comes to stuff like this? Why? It's easy. It's easy because they are gatekeepers. Long as their families are sitting there getting a little few crumbs here and there, they are not worrying about you. That's why they can put a Mega Stallion and a Sukahana and a Sexy Red or whatever you call these rappers to campaign for us. Now we got Beyonce. All the while I used to watch comments, videos after videos, how they saying that Beyonce was a part of a Illuminati, how they don't want to sit there and have Beyonce around. But yet now, because she's campaigning or whatever she's doing, gave, I think, like $4 million to this campaign. We forget about all that. See, we forget. They know exactly how to put us to sleep. Now, all the while, you guys were sitting there saying that Beyonce was a part of some Illuminati, and Beyonce's in a cult, and I mean, y'all was saying all this, but now all you hear is what? Crickets, crickets, crickets. See, we're not going to hear nothing like this because you guys have drunk the wine. Even my own people, my God, people that I think that had my back, where are they? Where are they? People, my ride and dies. Where are you guys? But guys sit there and say, that's why I say I stand alone. I'm set apart. Because you only gonna get this type of information only from God himself. Because you see, our people, they runs after the crowd. They are finicky. They are fair weather people. They only can go just a distance with you. Long as you sitting there, you know, you one of the good Negroes, okay? These Negropeans. Because you're brainwashed. You still have that European stinking mindset. Wants to sit there and say you woke. No, you're not woke. You're still asleep. You're still asleep. But you're going to be accountable for that. Absolutely. I am Victoria says we have to wake up as a people. We have to. We have to. But the thing about it is that some of us, we are some blindest shapes. We can't come out of her. We can't leave these people's stuff alone. And that's why these people continue to work overtime on us. And that's exactly what they are doing. They are working overtime on us. And like I said, all this right here is unapologetic and non-biased. I'm talking to grown people. If you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen, okay? So let's go ahead and play a little more.
Support the United States commitment to provide Israel with $38 billion in military assistance. Stand with Israel.
And that's just a little minute. That does not, I mean, even negate what they really gave overseas. She talking about $38 billion, but it's trillions. Yes, trillions. Funding something that's not right here. When we got a crisis right here, we got a war right here on American soil. We can't even get it together, but we police everybody's country. Everybody's country. So I guess you guys, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. I don't even need to play anymore. Because, like I said, everybody gets to sit at the table except us. When we own the entire table, we own the entire house. That's why when they need something, where they go? They go to daddy and mama. They go to daddy and mama. But we sat there, we tearing each other up because we don't know who we are. I told you who we are. Either you going to sit there and say, I believe what the word says, then let it come alive in you. We are God and goddesses. They know who we are. They know that the black man is daddy. They know the black woman is mama. God and goddesses. What is she talking about? She don't know what she's talking about. Let's go ahead and get out of this one here. Let's move out of this one right here. And let's play this one right here. Let me see if I can play this one right here. Like I said, honey, it's time to wake up. And in here, we eat meat. And if you cannot stand meat, honey, you go somewhere where you're going to be drinking some milk. But we ain't got time to sit there and pacify grown folks. Grown people. I'm not talking to no children. I'm talking to grown adults. Let's listen to this. This is one of my shorts, guys. I'll be trying to put shorts on just about every morning, you know, and make sure you watch these shorts because these shorts, like I say, it's very powerful, okay?
Did you know the U.S. government has actually paid reparations before, but not to who you might think? In 1988, President Reagan signed the Civil Liberties Act, granting $20,000 to each surviving Japanese American interned during World War II. Native Alaskans received $1,000 each in 1971 for land claims. And get this, in 1990, the U.S. apologized to Native Hawaiians for overthrowing their kingdom, offering 1.8 million acres of land. Oh, and let's not forget about the time the government paid Florida Seminoles and Oklahoma Seminoles $56 million in 1990 for land seized in the 1800s. Surprising, right? History's full of twists and turns we don't always learn about in school. Makes you wonder what other hidden stories are out there.
Make it make sense, guys. Everybody else, Alaska, Asians, Japanese, I mean, everybody can get bills passed except us. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. And if you sitting there confused about my background, then you're going to continue being confused because our people have been through so much. I mean, they'd say, okay, you can make it in a good USA. You can make it in a good USA. All you got to do is just put your boots on and pull up your laces. Well, you said there when we pull up our laces, you said there and you take it from us. You take that from us. The boots, everything. You take everything from us. But this generation right here, they say enough is enough. This generation says enough is enough. So let me go ahead and move some of this right here. And let me, and this might be a part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. I don't know what it's going to be, but I've been hearing a lot of people saying that, oh, we need jobs. We need jobs. And they love when we say we need jobs because, like I said, ain't nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5, but we are what they calling right now the final days. So if it's the final days, why are you hollering we need jobs? Why not we need to own our own business? Remember, if I don't own it, I don't want it. We live in the end times. We right now are in the book of Revelation. We are in the book of Revelation. So if you have a job, it's going to take a whole day wages just to buy a loaf of bread. It's a wheat in the book of Revelation. But what is wheat? We take wheat and we make bread, we make pasta, it's going to take a whole day wages. And it's coming right now because you go into some of these grocery stores and the food is so high. The food is so high, but some of the food you're not even going to want it no more. That's why we got to sometimes, we want to shun what our grandparents used to do. We don't want to hear what they used to do, how you can go into, because, I'm from the South, my family, they own their own farm where, we always had fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, fresh meat. And I took advantage of it. I should have sat there and took those skills and applied to my children. But, when we don't know better, we not going to do better. But it's time for us to start getting into our own businesses, growing our own food. Because some of the food, guys, the chemicals that they are putting in the food, some of that stuff we don't even we don't even want it. It's not even good for us. So when we sit there, we saying jobs, that's what they want. But they're not going to teach us. They're not going to teach us to be entrepreneurs. They're not teaching us to own the entire house. They're going to continue teaching us to be at their feet, long as daddy, because that's who they think they are, but they're not our daddy. They the stepdaddy. We think they the real daddy. Our real daddy, we want to sit there and we want to lock them up. We want to take them out and do all types of stuff, And we talked about that last week when I read, I think it was coming out of Jeremiah Jeremiah 31:22, where it says a woman going to compass a man. That's biblical. Yes, a woman will compass a man. But God also called that woman backslider. In the book of Revelation, called it a harlot, a whore, a Babylon. Oh God, my God, my God, my God. Lord, these some stiff-necked people. These some stiff-necked people. But it's time for us to sit there and start doing for ourselves. And we sit there and say, oh, we need to do this. We need to do that. No, what you need to do is start raising up a Jesse root. What is a Jesse root? The Bible, like I say, the word of God is not hidden. That's why I be telling you guys, don't get rid of your Bibles. Don't get rid of your Bibles. You just need someone that knows how to rightfully divide it. What is a Jesse root? A Jesse root is training up a child. It's like a root, planting a seed. Because this generation is not going to do it. Like I said earlier, this generation is not going to do it. I don't care how you talk. Cheek and tongue will say anything. The mouth will say anything. But you are brainwashed. We can't use you. Just like with Samuel. You remember when the people was crying for the Most High God to send them a king, not knowing that God was the King of Kings, the Lord of the Lord? But they needed something that they needed to see, like we need right now. We still sleep, still crying and whining for someone to save us. When God sat there and said, I am the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. So just like Samuel, God said, they some stiff-necked people. Just go ahead and give it to them. Give them what they want. They want a king. Go and give them a king, which you're going to get most likely. You're going to get Kamala Harrison because that's part of prophecies. That's part of prophecy. See, the thing about it, we know exactly how the story is going to end because it's already finished. So if you know how the story is going to end, why are you not trying to change position? That's just to show you guys we're some silly sheep. Some of you guys might catch us by tomorrow. But getting back to the story, and make sure you check out Eagle Soy and I and myself, because we rightfully divide the word of truth. But the people was crying for a king. So the Most High God say, okay, give them what they want, because God gonna give you what you want. Just like when God was feeding them with fresh mantle, bread from on high. They got tired eating fresh mantle. Where God, they say, I want some meat. So in a minute, God started raining down quails. They start choking. Couldn't eat the meat. God knows what we need. But we some stiff-necked people. So Samuel, he went and he sought out for a king. And I can't think what David's dad named, but he went into David's father's house. And David's father had very mighty, strong men, a valid, big old men. And David sat there and say, well, Saul said, well, I know this got to be the one. God said, no, this is not the one. Well, this got to be the one. And I'm just paraphrasing it. You know, later on, I might go ahead and pull that scripture out. But some of you guys, you know, that's spiritual in tune. They know exactly what I'm talking about. So David was looking, Saul was looking at men that were strong, or maybe ones that was very articulate, you know, knows how to put sentences together and knows how to sell us a bean pie on the corner. But the Most High God say, no, that's not one. So Samuel was saying, it got to be somebody, because the anointed of God sent me to this particular house. It got to be somebody. And that's when the father said, well, I got a little baby, you know, a little small, scrawny son, but he's a sheep herder. You know, he still got milk behind his ears. So Samuel said, let me see this one. Go get him out of the field. So they brought him, scrawny, little small child. Then the Most High God said, that's the one. See, it's not going to be the one that you think it's going to be. But he said, that's the one. That's the one that I'm going to have to set on the throne. And like I said, when it comes to the Bible is just not pre-ancient stories. You have to know exactly how to make it come alive, because that's the written word. And some of you guys are going to catch this by tomorrow, but we still sleep. We don't even understand. That's the written word. But today is the spoken word. And where's the spoken word? The spoken word is coming out of the mouth of God's chosen people. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. So in order for us to come out, and I know some, like I said, I got a little small channel, but it's big because God said, don't look at the numbers. I got the right people that watches my videos, because I promise you tomorrow or in a few hours, it's going to be their talking points. I promise you that. But that's all right, because it's not for me anyway. But in order for us to come out of this right here, we got to train them up as a child. Children that wasn't indoctrinated. And we got these woke people, these people that claim they woke. Well, if you claim you woke, then why don't you train your child? Why are you looking for the great white hope to save us? That's the solution. It didn't take a rocket science. It didn't take someone with a PhD. It took, like I said, God will use anybody. Anybody. The word is not hidden, guys. The word is only hidden to those that lost. And I have not even got into what I wrote down. That's why I say sometimes I don't write things down. I just let God just use me, because sometimes when I write something down, sometimes when I write something down, God take me somewhere else. He turned the entire script. But in order for us to come out this, we're going to have a Jesse root. We need a Jesse root. We need to start raising our children from the ground up. Because see, we looking at, oh, we've been in this. No, we just got in this. To us, it feels like 1,000 years. But to the Most High God is only one day. And the day has not begun. That's why they say the hour, the final hour, is coming. But none of us even been on this earth 1,000 years. Methuselah, and I think I pronounced his name, he almost made it. They say 900 and something years. They used to live a very, very long time, but now our years are short now. But the world is saying the final hour. And see, they know that the Messiah is raising up. They know the Messiah is raising up, and he's amongst us. And the only reason why we don't see the Messiah today, because he say he's going to be in the flesh right amongst us. He could be walking right beside us. The Messiah can be who you said there pass up each and every day. But the only reason why we don't see him, because we allow these so-called power that be to sit there and implant all this foolish in our mind. Our mind is the devil's workshop. That's why we got to guard our mind. He knows long as he can keep all this distraction, this entertainment, these reality shows, the things of this world. Notice, when they try to push some type of bill, something come out, then they start sitting there going into these celebrities, these black celebrities, and giving these bottom feeders something to run with, keep us occupied. Because what they're doing is they plotting behind us. But something is about to come, guys. I promise you, it's here. If we can sit there and take our eyes off of man, take your eyes off of man, and put your eyes on the Most High God. Yes, you're right. I can't even say it now. Methuselah. Yes, Methuselah. Yes, Methuselah. That's who. He almost made it to 1,000 years Methuselah. Thank you, Minister Terry Jones. Okay, so let me see if I can go. I got 8 more minutes, guys, and this right here, I promise you, I'm going to talk about this because it's time to wake our people up. But like I said, we talking about, oh, we need jobs. You and the thing about it, that's just to show you we still sleep. You sitting there saying that we need jobs, but yet these people, which their time is almost up, they making robots. AI is very effective because I've been using AI. These people are making robots, and I promise you, they're gonna replace you for a robot. So yet you sitting there saying we need jobs. Sooner or later, those jobs is not going to be available. Those jobs, robots are going to take those jobs. So what you should be saying is that I need to go and see if I can get my congressmen, congresswoman, senators, because that's who you really need to focus on, the senators and your local state. So you can get trade schools and things that you need in your community, because you're going to need that trade. I'm telling you, for the final hour. For this final hour, you're going to need a trade, not a job, because the AIs, the robots, they're going to take over that, okay? And they're going to be very effective in that, in the final hour, because we already know how everything is going to end, okay? Because their sins have reached the highest heaven. So instead of asking for a 9 to 5, go to your local state, your local senators, and demand what you need into your community. Go to the meetings when they be having meetings in your towns, your state, wherever. Go to those meetings and demand what you need in your community. And I'm telling you what the Most High God is saying. What we need in this final hour, we need trade schools. We need trade schools. We need a trade. That's exactly what we need. We need trade schools. So when you talk to Kamala Harrison, or you go and you vote these people in when it's election time, your senators, have a town meeting and let them know, demand what we need in our community. Because I promise you, your vote is more valuable than you think. They need your vote because, like I said, they already know that we are like a tribe. We stick together until it's time for us to do for each other. Oh, that's why we can use that scare tactic, because they think that, we all sit there and jump on the bandwagon, but it got a remnant, just a small remnant that can think for themselves. Because like I said, they have passed all these anti-Asian bills. And like I said, I'm not, being prejudiced, these so-called Jays, the so-called natives, which we're going to talk about that. The natives, we're going to talk about that. Maybe we need to change who we need to change when it comes to calling ourselves African American. Where we got that from anyway? I think, if I'm not mistaken, we start calling ourselves African American, I think with Jesse Jackson, something like that. I need to do some research on that. Like I said, when it comes to our history goes very, very deep. So I think we need to do some research, when we start being called African American, because at one time we was called Negroes or whatever, and now all of a sudden we call African Americans. I think we should just go back and just call ourselves indigenous. Yes, indigenous to our native land. Most likely that's why they don't want to give us our reparation because they know we already was here. We already was here because like I say, we was from the four corners of this earth. He gave us dominion over the entire planet. What you see in Africa is just the tent that belongs to this tribe, this lost tribe, which is us because we are the remnant. We're not here to supposed to spin and not be good stewards. We're supposed to sit there and soak up what we know so we can go and we can pass it on so we can build up this kingdom. You guys don't want to hear that. You guys don't want to hear that. But I got a lot more that I want to talk about. I have not even got into the beginning of it. And most likely I might come on tomorrow and talk about it, even if I got to talk about it by myself. But God said you ain't gonna be talking to yourself. God said you ain't gonna be talking to yourself. Somebody here. So he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. So we're gonna continue talking about when it comes to all the stuff that's going on. And you know, like I said, you know, it's not just Kamala Harrison, you know, and it's not just Donald Trump and Biden. You know, the buck stopped with us. We have the final say. Yeah, we have the final say. If I say, "Oh, girl, you crazy," yeah, so we have the final say. We have the final say, and the buck stopped with us. But the only reason why we don't know that because we can't leave the things of this world alone. We are the lifeline to everything that exists. Without us, nothing will survive. And they know it. That's why they always come to daddy and mama. We are daddy and mama. We are God and goddesses of the Most High God. Give us some respect to that name. Give us some respect to that name. So when you start coming running to us, you wolf in sheep clothing, put your money where your mouth at. Just like they sit there and say, no, I'm not going to just do things for black people. God going to have you to gurgitate it out because you need us. You need us. We're not no doormat. We're not doormats. It's just that we are blinded by the things of this world. And that's real talk. So, okay, guys, I am done. Bertha said there, say, thank you, Lady D. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you to Terry Jones for coming in. He said we must remember respect is more than a Aretha Franklin song. Absolutely. Even though the world had sung that song, respect. Respect. But like I said, everything is a reason. So make sure you go ahead and check out my shorts, guys, because I be trying to put some messages in there. Don't let it go over your head. Terry Jones say we must remember respect goes both ways in any relationship. Please remember if a person can respect you, your no, they don't deserve your yes. Absolutely. Let me read that again. Minister Terry Jones says that please remember if a person can't respect your no, they don't deserve your yes. And that's absolutely. Let me play a little bit more of this right here, and then let me see. Because I got so many talking points, guys, so many bullet points, and I haven't even got to it because, like I said, we you know, when it comes to me, I let the Most High God use me. I had put down right here. It says we demand nothing, long as they shift shape when it's convenient for them. Yes, I talked about that. You know, long as we allow these people to come in and shift shape. And I remember when it used to be I can't think of what this lady Frida. Frida used to come on my panel all the time, and she used to always talk about shift shaping. And I used to ask her, what does it mean now? You know, like I said, well, I think I had told her, you know, I don't want to hear it now because I know that hour had not come yet. But now I know exactly what she meant now when she said shift shaping. So what you're seeing right now, how you say, well, how these people, they shift shaping, you know, when they around certain people they one way, when they come around you they wants to sit there and act like they, you know, been in the family all their lives, and even want to go in certain little small rural areas and start talking, like as if they got a southern dialect, start changing the way they voice. What they doing is they shift shaping. They shaping. That's what they doing. Shift shaping. I'm gonna get it right. Shift shaping. They going to be what, like a lizard. You know how lizard, certain spots they go to, they start changing coats. And that's what you're seeing right now. You are seeing a lizard. You are seeing a lizard. Shift shaping. Going in these little small rural areas, trying to talk with a different southern dialect. Because like I said, they pandering to people that they think that, they ignorant, don't have no education, they stupid. But we need them, because there's not too many of these ones that think that they got it all together with the PhDs, and which nothing wrong with that, but God can't use you because you all buffed and puffed up. You will end up getting the glory. That's why Jesus, he didn't go to the Pharisees and the Sadducees, people that from birth they was reading the Bible. He didn't go to them. These Sadducees and Pharisees that we got today. God can't use them. Where did he go? Where did Jesus go? Jesus went to the fishermen's, to the ones that you look down at. Because he know that I can use them. And that's what he's saying right now. If you want to see this next generation come out of this, start training them up at an early age. And I promise you, they won't depart. They won't be brainwashed, because this system right here it got us brainwashed. He didn't have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. So guys, let me see where I'm at, because I'm gonna finish this, honey. Because I had woke up 4 days this morning and with these talking points, and I didn't think that I was gonna stay on a whole hour. But like I said, I just let the Most High God use me. And I also had put anyone who anyone with common sense, they will ask, they would demand. They would demand. And the reason why they don't take us serious, because we don't demand anything. We sitting there fighting what color she is. Like I said, she was ever color she is for that moment. Oh my God. Let me say this again. She's whatever color she is for that moment. But I promise you, once she get to where she's at, the entire White House is gonna be lily white. You might see a little token of us. That's it. That's it. And this is not to pick on people. This is what I call the final hour. You watch CNN right now. They got biggest day, boldest day, the final hour, that Vice President Kamala Harris is looking for a running mate. The final hour. Ooh, that sounds very spiritual. The final hour. See, they use our words. But God said there and say, we taking back everything that the cankerworms, the palmer worms, the locusts, and the caterpillars has taken from us. We're going to take it back. Hey, my girl, Misbehaving is in the house. She said, hello, Lady D, Mice in chat. Guys, make sure you go ahead and check out my girl, Misbehaving. Misbehaving is in the house. If you got something to say, my girl, let me know. Go ahead and drop the link. So, even though I done my little hour, but I let you have the floor. If you got something to say, let me know if you got something to say, or you just in here just to sit there and see this beautiful face of mine. Guys, make sure you go ahead and check out my girl, Misbehaving. Yes, indeed. Like I say, God say we are not in here alone, guys. We're not in here alone. We may look like we're a small number, but you looking at what they be saying, 144,000, it's more. Trust me, it's more of us. We are a remnant. We are a force to be reckoned with. I just felt led to come on. She said she thought I had started at 3:05. What time did I come on? I usually come on, yeah, about this time, around about 2 o'clock. But I came on at 1 o'clock. I thought I was gonna be able to finish it, but shoot, girl, I got so much to talk about. I mean, I got so much to talk about. But the thing about it, he that have an ear, let him hear it. I don't know if these people are ready to hear. But God say that's all right. Tell him to it. Tell it to him because there are some stiff necked people. Let you hear a little bit of this right here, guys. Associate Minister says, "Real talk with Lady D. I'm your number one hype man." All right, God bless you. He says, "Real talk with Lady D. I'm your number one hype man. Proud of it much." Yes, indeed. God said there and say, honey, we are not in this alone. We are not in this alone. We think that we all by ourselves. Sometimes I say, "Oh my God, Lord, I feel like I'm all by myself." But God said, "You're not by yourself." God said there and say, "I got misbehaving." Hey, misbehaving, how are you doing? My girl, misbehaving. So we just waiting for misbehaving to come in. Yes, my girl, misbehaving is in the house. How you doing, misbehaving?
Hey, Lady D, man, I'm mad. I didn't know you started early. I clicked on notify 3:05, and I said, let me push my live back because I want to be up in here to hear what the chameleon said at the eulogy.
That's a shame, huh? That's a shame. Want to go to this Sheila eulogy, and Sheila, she was riding hard for us to get our reparation, but she didn't come back with that. At least she should have picked up the mantle. What you think?
Yeah, she should have, but she ain't. She's not. I don't want to rain on nobody parade. But my motto: no reparations, no vote, or at least
Yes,
trade schools or something. They don't want to give us nothing to upbuild our community.
absolutely. Talk about the trade school because I've been talking about it. What's your thoughts about that?
I agree with you. I mean, they can do things. We need trade schools. I remember when I was a young girl that even when people would go to prison in California, they were able to go off to college while they were incarcerated, earn some type of trade or skill. So when they were released, so that way they could contribute to society. Now, I'm not saying our young folks nowadays have to go off to prison or anything like that, but college isn't for everybody.
Absolutely.
And I mean, why amass a large debt in student loans when you can find something that you enjoy? How many kids do you see that they can rebuild an engine and they have never been taught? They're self-taught. It's just something that they want to do. Or even with the computers, I think they should open up trade schools. And I believe, it's just my belief, that they shut down these trade schools because trade schools allowed you to become an entrepreneur. Once you have
Can you
that
say that
skill,
again? Can you say that again? Trade schools allow you to be what?
an entrepreneur, you can work for yourself. You don't have to work for anybody else. You can charge your price, go out and do it, and you're doing something that you love. I believe it was by design that they shut trade schools down. But Lady D, what I
Absolutely.
do believe is that some of these men and women that do possess the knowledge and skills, whether they're master plumbers or electricians or carpenters or whatever, if they have that skill, what's stopping them from grabbing some of our young folks and even some of us middle-aged folks that might need a new career? You know what I'm saying? Teaching us that skill so we can be self-sufficient and contribute to our community. We don't
Absolutely.
always
I
have to
totally
work.
agree.
You know what I'm saying? Remember the other day, just like they were saying that all of these black women and men, they were able to generate and millions of dollars for chameleon. Let me not be disrespectful because I respect everybody's titles. But I know for a fact from what I've seen over Biden's administration, she hasn't come out and she hasn't done anything for us. I don't know why she was wearing Chuck Taylors because Chuck Taylors is a staple in California for gang members. But I digress. Let me get back on track. The vice president. And see, I didn't went on a tangent and I forgot what I was going to say, but we were talking about the trade schools.
Hmm.
They don't want to give us reparations. Our young folks. Put me back on track, Lady D. I did too much
You was
talking.
talking about you was talking no, you was talking about the trade schools.
I was talking about the trade school, how they can do that for us, for the young folks, so they can have a way to be self sufficient. Okay, I know where I was at. How all of those men and women, how they were able to collect millions of dollars in donations to help her get elected to the office to become the president. How come they cannot collect those donations so that we can donate to teachers to create our own trade schools for our
Come on
community?
now, come on now, come on, bring it, bring it, bring it. I ain't stopping you. Go ahead.
And then another thing, they were mentioning about, you know, how the black farmers had sued the USDA for years of discrimination. And then I believe right before Biden got in, or when he got in, the USDA had settled where they were going to offer billions of dollars to be paid out to the black farmers. But then a lawsuit was filed by the palm farmers
Mm,
citing that
mm,
they
mm,
were
mm.
being discriminated against, so that money was held up. All of these years now, right now, when it's less than 90 days for the next election. Now, all of a sudden, they're going to release $2.2 billion for money to be released to farmers. And it's said that black farmers can get up to $500,000.
Wow. At that final hours, because they know they need our votes, they know they need that our votes. So they're gonna try any kind of way to get us at that ballot box.
hmm But I'm still saying, until a check show up in your mailbox, Mr. and Mrs. Farmer, don't you go down there and vote. Now, I mean, you can vote for whoever you want to, but my thing is, it's like a man just whispering sweet nothings in your ear. He
My
didn't lie to
God.
you for years, and he ain't gave you nothing. He said, "Baby, I'ma do right. Baby, I'ma do right. Just give me one more chance." And we've been giving them chance year after year, and they just don't want to do right. So now that we fed up, some of us are fed up and said, "I'm taking my good stuff and I'm gone, baby." Now they want to try to act right. Now they acting like they want to act right, but action speaks louder than words. That's why I say, baby, no more basketball and pearls. No more basketball and pearls. And to y'all that don't know what basketball and pearls refer to, you know, President Obama, he loved the basketball. He wanted to get out there on the court, play basketball with the brothers so he can show that I am a black man when he is a biracial man. And here come chameleon Vice President Kamala Harris. He trying to hold
Twerking.
on. She's trying to
She
hold on to
twerking.
that pearls. Yeah, baby. She got them pearls on for AKAs, but she got Megan out there twerking on stage. Jesus. Jesus. Mm, mm, mm.
My God, my God. Girl, I am not going to stop you because I done did my hour. And I said, my God, this is a lot. But I'm so glad that, we see straight through all this BS because I don't think this generation, especially a generation that is sick and tired of being sick and tired, is going to allow these people just come in and pander without questioning. It's time for us, either you put up or you shut up. We're not going to keep falling for the same okie dokie story. We're not going to do that just because you say you black now. Make it make sense.
hmm And you see what Mr. Associate Minister said. We must remember the mind can think it, but it takes the hands to make it. Hey, now,
That's I like that one. I really
I
like
like
that one.
that too. Have you noticed
Absolutely.
also? I'm sorry for interrupting, Lady D, but
Oh no, you're not at all. Not at all. Go ahead.
have you noticed, and I'm probably sure you uh, have you noticed that I, I had made a comment before that they are trying to replace us so they can erase us. That's why they are
Absolutely.
getting rid of our history being taught in school. But
Mhm.
social media is a wonderful thing where people can do their research and find out everything that we've contribute to this country and what we're owed. They're mad because we won't be silent, and we're speaking up, and we're stating what's due. Now, some of us are doing that. Some of us, they want to play nice and try to scare us and say we got to save America. The democracy of America is on the line. We got to get down to the polls. But my thing is this: what has America given to us?
Hmm.
What have they given to us? That's like going to work and you not getting a paycheck. Every 2 weeks we supposed to get a check. Your bills are still there. Why should you continue to contribute when they're not giving you anything? But this is the one thing I wanted to point out. I'm noticing less and less black men, and I know there are many black men that are in construction and working, but I'm seeing more Latinos being hired, whether it's uh entry level, they're just learning. But I'm seeing a lot that don't even speak English. So yes,
Mhm.
there is a plan. The Democratic Party is planning to replace us and erase us, because why are all these migrants being bussed into democratic cities and nobody's taking action to ship these folks back to wherever they came from? Like they want to blame uh, what is it, Governor Abbott in Texas. Well, he did the right thing. He bust them right on out of his state. So if I
Mhm.
was the governor or the mayor of some major city that's a Democratic city, I would put them folks right back on that bus and send them right on back down to Texas. But it's all
Mhm.
by design because they want us to fight with them to do the dirty work. No, pay us what you owe us. Send them folks back home. I don't hate them people, but baby, you took the chance to come up over here illegally, and resources are scarce. So it's time for you
Mhm.
to go back home, baby. It's time for you to go back home.
So why you think that they trying a ethnic cleanser? Are you just like back then? You think that they scared of the dark melanated king and god and goddesses? You think they're afraid of us? That's why they trying to do this ethnic cleansing by getting all these um migrants and putting them into black communities, just to go in and do this ethnic cleansing.
I don't believe that they are afraid of us. I know they like to say they are, but they're not afraid of us, because when you're afraid of something or someone,
Hmm.
you avoid it at all costs. You don't antagonize it. You don't bother it. You don't see nobody walking up to a wasp's nest and shaking
Hmm.
it because they know better. The thing is, they know that we are complacent. They are putting these people here so we can have a war with one another. So,
Okay.
we can fight and get rid of one another you
Hmm.
know so that's what it is. They don't want us here, and they don't want to pay what they owe us. We are
Hmm.
getting louder, our voice is getting louder, and the younger folks that are coming up, they're learning. Not all of the young children and young adults are lost. There are some that I listened to. A young man the other day and a young woman, they put their little stuff, so I shared their channel. I mean, they are talking that talk. We want reparations. We were here. We are indigenous to this land, to
Hmm.
this country. Our ancestors, they died. They were tortured. They tore up this land, and there's a debt owed and a balance due. We are
Hmm.
not going to be quiet, no matter how many times you tell us to be quiet. That's why they do so much social engineering, whether it's with drugs, alcohol, pitting the black man and the black woman against one another to destroy the black community, the black family, and black unity. Some of us are falling for the okey doke, but not all of us are falling for
Hmm.
the okey doke. So yes,
Hmm.
they are not afraid of us, Lady D. They want they're doing the talk, but they're really not afraid.
It's like they if you notice, even when it comes to TV, the news reporters, everyone looks so feminine now. How can I say, androgynous? The men, they just, you barely
That's
would see like a football player looking, dark skinned guy on TV, if you do see a dark football looking type, they playing sports, or most likely it's like, to me, a threat where they'll go ahead and lock them up. It's like they trying to whitewash the entire race. That's what, I don't know.
You said it correctly, androgynous.
Mhm.
They can look either male or female, and then there's the lightening, the brightening of
So
what
that's what
black.
they're trying to do, whitewash.
Yes, whitewash. Didn't you remember? Did you see that? I think it was on social media maybe last year or the year before, where they were looking at the draft. It was the NBA draft, where they were looking at all majority of the players. They were beige complexion. They had a black father but a white mother.
Mm,
So,
mm, mm.
there were a lot of people making comments. And when I said a lot of people, it was a lot of black men making comments about it. But what do you expect if you procreate with a woman that's not of your culture, your genetics, your DNA
Mhm.
makeup? There's bound to be some brightening of the skin color. Now, I don't have nothing against no interracial dating, but what I do have is when you self hate, when you want to talk down about, the black man or the black woman just because you're dating or procreating outside your race.
Absolutely. I like what Terry Jones says. He says we must remember the black man and the woman set the flavor of the country. Yes, because we are the salt of the earth. Without us, honey, it would lose its flavor. Who likes bland food? Do you like bland food?
I sure don't, only if I'm going on a diet.
So they know that the black man, the black woman, they know that we are the salt of the earth, and they could try to sit there and dilute it all they want. But like I say, we like the real deal, right?
Yeah, we the real deal Holyfield. But the thing is, Lady D, there are so many of us that are lost and confused where we're trying to be
Yes.
like him. We don't even know ourself, our own self-worth. We don't see that we are the blueprint. Never in my life had I thought I would ever see where a black woman went and got plastic surgery to have her lips enlarged, to go get her butt enhanced. I never thought I would see that. You have
Mhm.
black women by the thousands going out here having plastic surgery done on their body. Now, keep in mind that there is some racism in healthcare where you
Mhm.
receive substandard healthcare based on the color of your skin. So you would trust someone to stick metal objects in your body? I don't understand that. But now they say the big booty craze, the BBL craze is over. Now you got women running out. They want to get all this stuff removed from their bodies because they want their natural body. You should have never put that stuff in your body to begin with.
Wow. So why you think we always have this low self-esteem? Because it was back with Malcolm X. You remember he said, who told you, your nose was big? Who told you it was ugly? Now it's like we wants to keep up, with this European standards. We want to take our melanin out our skin. And you're a nurse, so you know good and well when it comes to melanin is like liquid gold. They now trying to put melanin in computer chips, and they even giving the government giving them over $7 million or $7 billion of research, when it comes to melanin. And they saying, oh, they talking about the synthetic melanin. You know good and well they don't want synthetic of nothing. We don't even want synthetic pills. If anything, they want the real deal. They even taking melanin and putting it, injecting into their skin. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's how they're darkening themselves so that way they don't have to be on the tanning bed. But in order to
Mhm.
get the synthetic, you have to base it off the real, the original,
So
authentic.
how they going to get that? How are they going to get that without unaliving us? That's what pretty much I
Mhm.
want to say. How are they
Yeah,
going to get that melanin?
practicing on us. I'll never
Thank
forget.
you.
Uh, I wasn't around during the Tuskegee experiment, but I heard about it, and I know for a
Hmm.
fact that many doctors that come here to America are unaware of Tuskegee experiment. You know, I come from California, and I had worked with a doctor, and I had to share it with him only because one of the patients refused to have any blood work done and refused to take any medication. And I explained to the doctor, I said, well, in my community, I said, they've experimented on folks in our community. So a lot of Black folks really don't go to the doctor. They're afraid to. They
Hmm.
don't trust doctors. And he said, well, why? I said, well, for one, the Tuskegee experiment. He said, well, what is that? This was an Indian doctor. And he
Hmm.
said, what is that? I said, you never heard of it? And I was ignorant that he was unaware. I said, you've never heard of the Tuskegee experiment? He said, no. So then I turned around to an American doctor and I said, Dr. So and so, have you ever? He was like, no. I had to pull it up, Google it for them, and print it out and show it to them that it was real. This wasn't like some urban legend. And he said, oh, wow. I said, yes. I
Oh,
said, so
wow.
and when I would tell them in the hospital, like, don't when you go in to address a patient, Black patient, African American patient, I said, don't call them by their first name. You put a Mr. or Mrs. in front. It's a sign of respect. And I said, and so they have to be able to trust you. You have to explain things to them. And if they don't get it the first time, don't be impatient. Don't rush out because they feel like, well, you don't care anyway. So they ain't going to tell you
Hmm.
nothing. No way. And a lot of times they won't tell you anything because if they complain about the care that they're receiving, they believe that somebody's going to hurt them or do something to them. I said, so that's
Mm-mm-mm.
what's going on. And so, yeah, I mean, did you see that story that's online recently where the family of that young the young Black male, he's a football player. He was from oh my God, I can't remember where in Texas, but he had attended the University of Alabama as a freshman. He was a standout star. I think he was like 50, number 56 or something nationally as a high school football player. So he went off in his freshman year to University of Alabama, and then what they did is he ended up transferring out here to North Carolina University. And on his way, some kind of way, he got out of his car, was trying to help somebody on the side of the road. Make a long story short, the young man was hit by a car, landed on his head. He's up in a private hospital here in North Carolina, and his parents were on live videotaping it because the people want to take the young man's organs. He's only 19.
Wow.
They showed the
Wow.
yes, ma'am.
They must have did something to know that he got some type of organ in his body where they need to use it, right? Because
Well,
I
some
think I saw something about it, but I passed through it. I need to find that story again. So what you think the reason why, they want his organs?
because somebody needed. He's a young Black male athlete. He's healthy. No
Mhm.
drugs or no nothing. 19, landed on his head. Only thing they claimed, they declared him brain dead, but his heart's still pumping and everything else. But they came in asking the parents about his organs. How are you asking about
Wow.
organs when the family said that they were trying to get him transferred out of that hospital back to Texas? And all of a sudden, they said somebody came in and injected something. Ain't no telling what they put in there. We don't know, but
Mhm.
they are fighting for their baby. But they do cross match of your blood when you're in the hospital. This is before organ because they have a the organization that will come in, because as nurses, we you may ask on admission, a person, like how we ask them, do you have a living will, do you have a power of attorney, are you an organ?
Mhm.
Those are general questions. Not to say once you tell us yes or no, we gonna call the organization and let them know, hey, we got somebody here, because they have a certain amount of time, and ain't no telling what they do out here. But baby, they wanted them organs. They led with the wrong question to the family. Wasn't nobody trying to help, and eventually the police were called, and the family was escorted off the property.
Are you
And
serious?
yes, the young man is 19. So, by law, they're going to say he's an adult when he might, by law, he might be considered an adult, but he's still a teenager. He's a teenager. So, yeah, if he was healthy, they didn't looked up that blood work. They probably had a match for him because somebody had put in the comments, they said that the hospital that the young man is at was known for doing organ transplant.
Hmm.
So you got a 19-year-old healthy heart, healthy kidney, and liver. Ain't no telling it.
Wow. So
They
how
can
he's
get.
doing now? How the child is doing now?
I don't even know the outcome. His name was
Wow.
Terrence Howard. I
Yep.
I don't
If
even
I was
know
the
that.
parents, I would stay on social media to make sure, I keep the public, informed.
And that's probably why they went live. But the father said they were going to come back with attorneys. They made sure to put everybody on video, even the police officer. Um, so I don't know the full story. If he had coded, went into cardiac arrest, and they came to do CPR, because when the family was
Mhm.
doing CPR, they didn't even have the head of the hospital bed flat. You're supposed to have the head of the bed flat. You got to harden the mattress while you're doing CPR to give, thorough and adequate compression to pump blood to the heart.
Mhm.
And so, and I don't know what the outcome of it was, but I know one thing. I've always told people, if you have a family member in the hospital, please don't leave them alone in the hospital. If
Absolutely.
you can at all, please do not leave your family member alone in the hospital. So,
Mhm. And
uh,
not only just leaving the family alone, I felt in the spirit that, if you got children, especially young kids, don't let them walk by themselves at night because, they just sifting them out like wheat, and I saw on news that they found a chop shop somewhere in Atlanta, and that's exactly where they are because most of black people are in Atlanta. That's why they call it a mega city, right? And they say
it-
they found you heard about that? They found a chop shop in Atlanta.
I didn't hear that, but I wouldn't doubt it.
Yes, yes, yes.
I wouldn't doubt it. I know, what was it, a couple of years ago, a few years back?
No, no, they just found that.
No,
They
no,
hmm?
no. What I was about to reference is about that young man from Georgia. He was a
Hmm.
teenager that they found rolled up in the mat, head first. And when they did the autopsy, they said his insides were stuffed with newspaper.
Yep,
So,
yep.
okay, you got to be
And that's the thing
careful.
about it. I don't understand why you don't think people run with that type of news. They take that type of news and it's like they shove it under the rug. Now that's right there is newsworthy, right? I would make 101 videos of the parents or whoever found that child stuffed with newspaper. Who would do that, and not
Mm.
question it? You
They,
remember
they,
that little girl? What's her name? Kanika. Remember the little girl they found in the freezer? You remember her?
I remember her up in Chicago. I
Yes.
remember that story. They don't telling Lady D. People. I say fear is a horrible thing. Fear can
Hmm.
paralyze you. Fear will make you, not speak up, not speak truth to power because you're afraid. And there's no telling if somebody has said somebody to shut up, or this is what we'll do to you. But as long as you're quiet, folks are able to continue to do whatever they want to do. Do you recall I told you in my neighborhood these homes have been owned by black people for many, many, many years.
Hmm.
And sometime last year, the house next door caught on fire, and all of a sudden there's a white family here. Um, I had my suspicions. I said, I don't trust them. I don't know why. Why would you come over here in an all black neighborhood? Ain't
To
nothing
buy
white over here.
that land. They got that land.
Yeah, I said ain't nothing white up over here, but maybe the roof, the white paint on a house or a mailbox. But wow, I'm being honest. Why are these white folks here? And I had made comments, and then maybe about 6 months later, everybody left the house. Again, I thought that was odd. I told my son's father, you better put a camera on the side of the house. I don't trust that. And I ain't paranoid, honey. I'm cautious because with all everything going on, they could be setting folks up in places to get them prepared and activate them. Well, then
Mm,
6 months later, everybody left the house. Now, two of the young men, and these aren't even old folks, Lady D. When I say old folks, I'm talking about like in their 60s, 70, whatever else. They're younger.
mhm,
So I noticed that they were back and I'm still paying attention. All of a sudden, I had did that video, I don't know what video I had did, but I said stuff is getting sticky. You better carry your blicky blicky. Just be prepared at all time. All of a sudden, a doorbell rung the other day, and I'm like, "Who's ringing the doorbell?" I go, it's the neighbor, because I know what they look like,
mhm,
and I'm looking like, "Well, what is he doing here at the door?" So he asked questions about uh, my son's father, wanting to know if he worked for the police department or the sheriff department. I don't give out
mhm,
that kind of information because if you talked to him before, you should already know. And I said,
mhm.
stated he works for law enforcement. I said, why? What's going on? And he
That's what
said,
I
well,
want to know.
yeah, I said, why? What's going on? And he said, well, I had some question. I said, and who are you? He told me his name. So I'm watching him and I see the cell phone and he's propping the cell phone up. I said, hey, don't record me. And I stepped to the side of the window because I never opened the door. And he was like, oh no, I'm not recording you. And he showed me the front of the phone. I don't care if you show me the front of the phone where it said that or not. That could be a screensaver. I don't trust you. I don't know you and I don't trust you. And I said, so what's the problem? I said, because he wanted to know, well, is he here? Well, he's not here because his car isn't here. So I said, well, what do you
Mhm,
want? Oh, well, I had a question because somebody threatened me. I got some disturbing messages. I said, they threaten you. I said, so your
mhm,
life is in danger? He said, yes. I said, well, call the police. He said, well, that's why I came over here because I wanted to ask him a few questions because I said, do you have a warrant out for your arrest? He said,
mhm.
no, ma'am. No, ma'am. I said, well, if you ain't got no warrant out for your arrest, call the police. Because if your life is
Thank
in danger,
you.
somebody sent you something, you want to come over here and ask him questions because he in law enforcement when you can call the police and make your report. He said, I can show you the messages right here. Honey, do I look like I'm going to open up a door and go out there with that white man? I told him I don't want to see nothing. Call the police. He said, well, my brothers. I said, where's the other white man that be there?
Mhm,
He said, oh, that's my brother. He's at work and he has some stuff too. And I said, let me tell you something, baby. I don't know who it is that then sent you something that didn't threaten you, but you're in fear for your life. All I can tell you is if you're not wanted by the police or got a warrant, won't you call them and make a report and make sure you got a blicky blicky on your side, okay? I said he'll be home around later on tonight. I'm just made up a time, but he ended up coming home sooner then. But honey, I don't trust you. I don't know what you're trying to do. You probably trying to come up over here to see if somebody awake, honey. Misbehaving ain't the one, baby. I
I
told you.
I hear that. But this is a part I don't understand. When we start talking about stuff like this, I mean, people barely want to hear it because you remember when I said I wanted to talk about the red line and how they pushing us out of our community, because we got it right here, where I'm at. I see, when I go around, where I was raised at, how they losing their property and who you think is moving into it, who you think buying those properties, and they not moving in it. They renting them and leasing it out to our people, people homes that they was raised, their parents was raised there, but now who you think owning it? So when I was trying to talk about redlining, people just fell asleep on that.
But don't stop talking about it, Lady D. Keep talking about it.
Mhm.
Some people don't listen to it or want to tune in. A lot of times, YouTube is not sending out the notifications, so
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
honestly have to be tuning into your channel or check to see if you have something. I know for a fact I'm subscribed to you. If I don't get
Mhm.
a notification, I have to go to your channel and see, okay, is
Okay.
she gonna be live? Okay, she gonna be live. Let me hit notify. You know, you got that. You got some people scared. Okay, I don't want them come messing with my channel if I talk about that. But
Mhm.
that's why people do that, to frighten you. Just because they shut you down, as long as you talk about it, you have support and somebody else will speak about it. And sometimes, Lady D, people aren't knowledgeable about it. So if we don't know, how can we
Mhm.
grow?
Mhm.
We have to feed each other. What your specialty is and what you're well versed in, it can help someone else. And just like me, I may not be a homeowner. I might be living in a home that's owned by the homeowner, but that could be.
Girl, you crazy. You too much.
Oh, you see, but it'll help us because I believe that is what they're doing, trying to push you on out. Because it's something else that I noticed. I didn't know this was a thing where people are going down. I don't know if it's here in the
You
South because they make
you
it
got
so.
country girl laughing too. You a
I'm
mess.
sorry, country girl. A country girl said she googled it. He passed away last Thursday, and that's probably when I had watched the video, country girl. But Lady D, I don't know. Maybe this is a thing in the South, or are they doing this all over the country where people are going down and they are claiming your deed to people's homes, and the homeowner is unaware of it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
How they're able to switch the
The,
deed over.
I wouldn't put none past them, but I know what they do, especially down in these little small rural areas. They try to especially when they homeowners, and they live, in those little small rural areas,
Uh-huh.
they making the taxes so high on them where they can't afford the taxes. And just say like if they 2 years behind, these old slithering snakes, what they do is they already there at the courthouse, and they go in and buy from under them, and before you know it, they don't have any money to pay attorney fees, so they losing their properties. That's how they taking it. I rode through where I was raised. I rode through the neighborhood, and I was seeing, why you seeing, so many of the palm people, they not living there, but they got the homes. You heard of Section 8 before, right?
Yes, I've
They,
heard of it.
yes, they renovating the houses and got them for Section 8. But I say, I'm seeing my people with lace fronts and nails, and just add all that up. Nails is like, I think it done went up to almost, well, where I'm at, the lady that does my nails, we went to school together, so she always gave me a good price. But they said now nails, to get nails, it's like, and your pedicure is almost close to $200 now. Now if you go, yes, well, I'm just might be exaggerating, but if you're gonna get your nails and you're going to get all this stuff and all this unnecessary stuff, why you couldn't save your parents house, where now the you know, it's up for auction now. Make it make sense. And why, when you get your income tax, see, sometimes we got to take accountability of the stuff that we do as well. When you get your income tax, if you can go into the bank and the bank can give you a loan for a car almost 40 or $50,000, why the bank can't give you a loan to sit there and purchase a home? You see, that's the way I be thinking.
Right. Right. I remember years ago. Now this man, he did help me when I was thinking about purchasing a home. And when I went to him so that I could get a loan, he looked so mean. He didn't smile, and when these white folks don't be smiling, whatever, I'd be like, huh. And then I was looking at him, and he said, "You know what? I ran your credit," and he said, "You have just little bitty stuff on your credit that you just
Hmm.
pay off." He said, "I can give you a loan right now for this amount." He said, "But if you go ahead and just pay it off," and then he told me how to do it. He said, and asked for, I forgot what he told me. Basically, before I agree to make the payment, he told me to put everything in writing, but asked for, like, I guess it's called debt paid in full or whatever. He told me
Mhm.
that they had to word it on the letter, and so that way they reported to the credit to clear it off my credit report. He said I could
Mhm.
get even more money. And then I did what he said, took his suggestion, but as life would have it, some things occurred. But when you know better, you do better. And sometimes some of us, we don't come. I know I didn't come from a family that was financially literate. I know I've always been frugal, but what I
Mhm.
grew up in is people around me like that hood. There's a term called hood rich. They got the
Mhm.
money, the flossy stuff, the name brand stuff, but nothing tangible like buying
Mhm.
property or buying a home or owning it outright so we could have
Mhm.
something to pass back. There's a lot of things I wish I had done differently. And,
Mhm.
I don't soak about it or anything like that, but I think we're just lost. Some of us are lost. Some of us are
Yeah.
lost, and we're trying to find ourselves, and we're trying to find our tribe. And you have to want to learn and want to be able to take critique from
Mhm.
others and not take it
Mhm.
as an offense.
And I thank God that I was a good steward when it came to money. I used to be very materialistic, but I never bought expensive stuff. I can go, to like the mall, and I was small at the time. When you're small, you can buy anything you want, right? And still look good. I mean, look like $1 million. But I always was the type of person that I never, wanted to be in so much debt, and soon a minute, when I was able to pay my house out and do the things that I want, at least I know
Mhm.
that's my stuff. So I never was a type of materialistic stuff. So I'm glad for that. But I think in order for us to come out of this, especially when you call the last days, I think that we got to be good stewards when it comes to our money. But I want to ask you this right here. Uh, do you think that we should just change, from calling ourselves African Americans and just go back to indigenous? Because now I see a lot of our people are waking up where they know that the people that they once called, native, they really knew native. And that's a story by itself, which I'm gonna get back into that. But what do you think about it? Do you think the reason why they're not respecting us when it comes to reparation because they really know who we are? They know that we are native to this land, and that's why they try to hold out on our reparation. And should we just, start doing our research and finding out that we are native to this land?
Well, we
And they're
it's
afraid of it. They fret that we
they
might wake up and find out.
They ain't afraid, Lady D. They know we can prove that we are indigenous to this land. That look, I don't know nothing about no Africa, the continent of Africa,
Mhm.
and all the many
Mhm.
African countries over there. Or you can look back as far as they first started allowing. Isn't that something? Allowing our forefathers and foremothers to have Social Security numbers, because for
Mhm.
many years they worked. I remember, let's see, my daughter's it's her great grandmother. She's down in Florida, and she worked for many years for a school district before they were issuing out black folks a social security card. So imagine those
Mhm.
many years that she worked for this school district that she didn't get credit towards her social security because she didn't have a social security number. It's easy for them to trace and find out that we are from here. They just don't want to pay us. They have no plans of paying us. They want us to shut up and let it go, but they don't tell that to nobody else to shut up and let it go. And it does not help that people, other communities that we have championed for, marched for, to lay the groundwork, because civil rights benefits many people more than it benefits us.
Mhm.
They don't come to our aid and march for us or think we deserve anything. They fall right in line with the script. We weren't slaves, and why should they have to pay anything? Baby, that money ain't coming out your pocket. You ain't got no problem with millions and billions of dollars going outside of America to other countries. So why are you complaining because so few Black Americans here are asking for the reparations that are due? They are hoping that we are no longer here, we are extinct, or the children and grandchildren that come after us are not demanding it. But we
Mm-hmm.
have to keep demanding it because we are not asking for a handout. It's a debt that's due. It's owed to us. You cannot continue to pass things and create laws that benefits everyone.
Mm-hmm.
We are the descendants of the people that were enslaved. We need
Mm.
something specifically for us because it doesn't make sense.
Absolutely.
Everybody else can have something specifically designated for them. Come on now, right is right and wrong is wrong. How can you specifically create a law to stop Asian hate, the anti Asian hate bill or whatever it's called, but you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to pass a law for what is it, the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act? You don't want to hold police officers accountable for when they do things against American citizens, take their lives when they're doing things wrong. I'm tired of folks saying they need retraining. They need retraining.
Yeah.
If they
Me
need
too.
training, they don't need to be on the force. Quit telling us. I think what they do is gaslight us. I know I'm going off topic of
Mm-hmm.
what you,
No, 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 no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
but for so many of us that have common sense, street sense, book smart, street smarts, and just common, just it's just common knowledge, common sense. Quit telling us, get him. Just a second, Lady D.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it infuriates us because you're playing on our intelligence, and you keep trying. They keep trying to tell us stuff to make us think that we are the crazy ones. No, you are the crazy one because you keep telling us stuff that you know don't make no sense and that is not correct. You are doing us wrong. You are mistreating us, and we are tired of it. We are sick and tired of it. Some of us, like I said, I've been voting since the age of 18 years old. 18 years old when I've been voting since I was 18. I am now
Me
53.
too.
I
Me
am
too. And never
tired.
stop.
I am tired of the same thing. I'm sorry. I'm not here to save America because America ain't even trying to be fair to us. Now, I love America because that's all I know. That's where all of my ancestors come from. We are from here. There is no doubt about it. We didn't come over on no boat years later after the proclamation, Emancipation Proclamation. My ancestors didn't come over on no boat, free will, as a student. We are from here. We are
Mm-hmm.
from here, so we are owed something, and we are not asking for much.
Mm-hmm.
There are many of us that would give back. We want to create our own safe spaces. You know, it's mine. It's just it bothers your mind and your spirit every day when you see people mistreating you, talking to you the wrong way, and you have to bite your tongue, not say anything because you don't want to offend anyone. Why is it okay for everyone to offend us, but we are not entitled to let you know that you've offended us? We can't offend you. They want to make us out. We are not crazy. We are not angry. We are just
Mm-hmm.
articulate. We are intelligent and we are standing on business. We're going to tell you what it is, how it is, and how we feel. And if you don't like it, oh well.
All right. Look, we got 3 more minutes. I want you to close it out with this. I don't know if you saw the my live from the beginning, but I opened up with Kamala Harris, where she said that she's, and it's not a word verbatim, that she pretty much came out and said, she's not going to do anything just for Black people. But in the other breath, she talked about the Israel, talked about sending money to them. why would she blankly come out and say she's not going to do anything for African Americans, but she have no problem sending money overseas? Close it
Because
out.
the problem is, Vice President Kamala Harris, the reason she's double talking, does not want to give us reparations specifically for Black people, but perfectly fine sending money to Israel. Make no mistake, it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that she's married to a Jewish man. It's just that she doesn't respect Black folks overall, because Black people, most of us, will not complain. We will accept whatever they are doing, whatever they are saying, and we are not demanding anything in return for our vote. We are not demanding it. And it has gone on for so many years that they don't even know to take us seriously. So we have to show them. Remember the saying, fat meat is greasy. So you show them, you sit out for everybody that they've done something for. Let them come and vote for them. I don't see them bullying them or shaming them
Mhm.
to come and vote for them. I don't see them have no Asian women up on stage twerking. Don't you think they should be up on stage twerking? They did pass the Stop Asian Hate bill for them. So my thing is this: you don't want to do nothing specifically for us. Well, why are you sending money over to
I got to
Israel? So
carry
if,
him up on. Go
uh-huh.
ahead. I just got to carry him up on this.
So if
Go
you
ahead.
can
Take
send
it out.
money,
Take it
so
out.
if you can send money, dear Vice President Kamala Harris, that want to be the president of the United States of America, honey, if you can send that money up over there to Israel, and I'm pretty sure ain't no Black Israelites getting any of that money. Honey, you can go ahead, you and Congress can go ahead and create these reparations checks for Black folks. You know who the Black folks are. We got last name Jackson Brown, Williams, Turner, White. We don't have no fancy last name like Oyobi or Yabi. We don't have those last names right there. Give us, honey, give us our trade school. We need to have free admission to any college and university that we want. All of our tax debt should be free and clear. We shouldn't have to pay taxes, even if it's just for 50 years. It's something. We should be able to get some loans or something. Y'all doing something for everybody and make excuses of why you can't do nothing for us.
And on that note, I don't need to say nothing after that. If you, I heard a so if you got a finish that and we'll close it out with that. Okay, misbehaving is fun. I heard that. You got one little more breath. Go ahead and say what you got to say, girl.
That was it, Lady D. I was about to say, and the only thing I was about to say it, and you were listening to Real Talk with Lady D. That's all I was gonna say.
And misbehaving, yes, 2023. Make sure you guys go and check her out. I mean, like I said, honey, iron sharpen iron. And he that have an ear, let him hear. Like I say, this is a generation right here. They're not going to sugarcoat. You're going to have to earn this, honey. If not, you don't even bother to come get us out our bed, honey. And that's real talk, right, my girl?
And that Real Talk, Real Deal Holyfield. Look at that. Look how
Yes.
they all smiling. Look how they all smiling on it. I'm looking at it. They smiling at President Reagan. They got their nice little Japanese check. Ain't that something specifically for
I
them?
know. When I saw that, I say, now all the stuff that had happened to these people when it was time to give that reparation check, they sure put a smile on their face, huh?
Yeah, they just don't
They
want to
sure
give
put a.
it up. They just don't want to give it to us because they want us to be the low man and woman on the totem pole. But baby, don't y'all give up. I'm telling you now, don't you give up because we descend from great people. Because ain't nobody ever gave our ancestors anything. They ain't never gave them anything. They are truly the people that pulled themselves up, not from a bootstrap, because most of them oftentimes didn't even have a boot. Did they, honey? Y'all, please teach the youngsters and even teach us older folks too about our history. And I'm proud of the young folks channels that I have come across, and even some of the older folks. Baby, some of y'all stuff I don't agree with, but baby, some of y'all stuff I do, and we can have a difference in opinion. Baby, we gonna talk that talk because somebody gonna give us something, okay? And with that, I'm gonna shut on up and thank you for allowing me up.
And I'm not even going to mess with that, honey. And I'm going to say, in that note, guys, see you all later. And misbehaving is fun. Make sure you go ahead and check her out, guys. like I said, this is the generation that say enough is enough. And on that note, you all have a good night. Thank you, Country Girl Queena and Terry Jones. Thank you for coming in. I see someone else, Arrowhead is in. Thank you guys. Thank you for coming in. We'll fix this when he comes back. But guys, on that note, look, I'm not even gonna mess with that. We done stayed 2 hours and it is what it is. So he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. Be blessed.